Hi, my name's Annemarie Docking. I'm from Dalhousie Farm here in Willowmavin, which is about 60 kilometres north of the Melbourne CBD, which means we're in the peri-urban area of Melbourne. We've got 50 acres here, or 19 hectares, just near Kilmore. We have a mixed farming enterprise here at Dalhousie Farm. The main commercial element is the chickens, and we have between 500 and 600 layers here all year round. And we also have cattle and horses. And Dalhousie is also a co-farm, which means that we have another enterprise that runs as a completely separate business, and that is Remy's Patch, which is 3 acres of market garden. So knowledge of soil types is really important. Soils here tend to be more clay-based, so they are really subjective to damage, to pugging. They can get quite wet and waterlogged, and so you just have to be really careful about how you manage the stock through it, and that's where your land classes come in into it as well. The land classes mean that we group like with like in a paddock, and we try to manage the grazing impact. So soil conservation and soil health are central to all our planning and design decisions here at the farm. We don't use any synthetic fertilisers, we don't use any chemicals or herbicides. In the longer term, I'm also aiming to really nail down the biomimicry that we're trying to mimic here with the rotation of our animals. So here we generally get the cattle through first to take down the bulk of the herbage. Then we follow along with the chickens to spread that manure of the large herbivores, either horses or cattle. And then that's followed by a really long rest period and recovery period. Generally speaking, it takes the chickens more than a year to cell graze around the farm, and we move them about every week, and to make sure that they always have access to that fresh pasture, but also that the soil gets a good long recovery period to maintain that ground cover and soil health and soil microbiology. Being a small farmer in an industrially dominated farming ethos and system that we have in Australia means that I have to be really innovative with how I sell my products, and I really have to take a whole of supply chain approach. But this is what's beautiful about regenerative farming and small-scale farming in a peri-urban area, is that we get to connect directly with our consumer. And so our customers know and respect how we farm here, and it's important to them to know and understand where their food is coming from, and we can offer that to them. And that means that as a small farmer, I remain profitable and I'm supported by my community, and I don't have to rely on those wholesale markets, which can be, fluctuate and be uncertain.